Chapter 2. The Silent Break When Love Meets Disconnection. The moment love stops landing where it used to is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is not announced. It is a subtle shift, an almost imperceptible change. But it carries the weight of something enormous. You feel it before you understand it. A soft recoil, a hesitation, a guardedness that was never there before. Your child doesn't say, "I'm pulling away." They simply begin to. And you're left trying to decode a silence that wasn't there yesterday. When familiarity turns foreign. Parents of estranged children often describe an eerie sensation. Your child is still speaking to you, but the emotional bridge between you has collapsed. Their words feel shorter. Their tone feels clipped. Their warmth feels rationed. Their presence feels partial. You're not sure what changed. Only that something has. This is the first stage of the silent break. Your child starts interacting with you like a version of you that doesn't exist. Their reactions don't match your intentions. Their interpretations don't match the moment. Their responses don't match your history together. You feel blindsided because you sense they are seeing you through a filter you did not create. The familiar rhythm of your relationship is suddenly offbeat, and you can't find your footing. The emotional retreat. You can't stop. Estrangement rarely begins with a slam of the door. It begins with retreat, a quiet, gradual slipping away. Your child begins to share less, call less, correct you more, trust you less, guard themselves more, assume the worst, offer the least. They no longer open their life to you. They no longer speak freely. They no longer reach for your reassurance. Instead, they retreat into themselves, or into the arms and minds of people whose influence you never anticipated. It feels like they've joined a conversation you weren't invited to, and now your role in their life is being discussed. Without your presence, your voice, or your truth, you sense that you are being rewritten in rooms you cannot enter. The terrible confusion of being misinterpreted in real time. One of the most painful aspects of the silent break is the moment your child starts reacting to something you did not say. You offer kindness, and they respond defensively. You show concern, and they hear control. You share a memory, and they accuse you of rewriting the past. You ask a question, and they interpret hostility. It's as if your words are traveling through someone else's emotional history. Before reaching your child, you don't know whose voice has become louder than yours. A partner, an ex, a step-parent, a therapist, a friend, an online community. You only know that your child is responding to a distorted image of you. And no matter how carefully you speak, you can't seem to reach the child you raised. This confusion is not imagined. It is the quiet closing of a door you once walked through freely. When love begins to feel like a threat. Here is the part parents rarely say aloud. There comes a moment when your love itself becomes misunderstood. Not because you changed, but because your child's interpretation has. You say, "I miss you." And they hear guilt. You say, "Let me know if you need anything." And they hear pressure. You say, "I'm always here for you." And they hear manipulation. The child who once leaned on your love now treats that love as something invasive or dangerous. This is the most devastating twist of the silent break. Your love has not changed, but its meaning has. And you feel helpless watching it happen. The search for the moment you caused it. During this stage, parents desperately search for the moment everything shifted. You scroll through old messages, you replay the last phone call, you analyze every word of your last visit. You ask yourself, was it something I said? Did I push too much? Did I miss a sign? Did I misspeak? Did I not apologize enough? You examine your entire history under a microscope, looking for the flaw that started the fracture. But the silent break almost never comes from a single moment. It comes from many unseen moments you weren't present for. Moments shaped by other people, other influences, other wounds, other narratives. That had nothing to do with what you did or didn't do. Estranged children rarely pull away because of one conversation. They pull away because of beliefs, emotions, and stories that have been growing quietly in the background. The break you feel today began long before you noticed it, and that is why you couldn't stop it. The pain of being treated like a threat to their peace. The greatest injury of the silent break is not the distance itself. It is the meaning your child attaches to it. They are not simply creating space. They are creating space from you, from the parent who loved them, supported them, sacrificed for them, raised them. The parent who cheered at their soccer games, who sat by their hospital bed, who worked long hours to keep the lights on, who stayed up late packing lunches or helping with homework. Now you are being treated like a danger to their emotional well-being, as if the entirety of your parenting is a threat. This inversion, this complete rewriting of your role, is the trauma of the silent break. You are not just losing closeness, you are losing recognition, and nothing in your parenting prepared you for that. Recognizing the break before it becomes a chasm, before estrangement becomes official, before contact ceases, before holidays go quiet, before communication evaporates. The break begins here, in the subtle cues your child doesn't think you notice. The cool edge to their voice, the abrupt replies, the flat, "I'm busy," the new secrecy, the defensiveness where trust used to live, the absence of warmth, the lack of eye contact, the sudden irritation, the unfamiliar silence. Parents feel the break first, not because they are sensitive, but because they are connected. Your nervous system has known this child since the moment you first held them. Of course you feel the shift. Of course you notice the rupture. You're not imagining it. Your heart is simply telling you the truth. Your mind wasn't ready to believe. Why this chapter matters. This chapter helps you understand something essential. You did not misread your child. You sensed the break the moment it began. The silent break is real. It is the first stage of estrangement, and it is emotionally destabilizing because, your child becomes harder to reach. Your love becomes misinterpreted. Your intentions become questioned. Your voice becomes distorted. Your presence becomes unwelcome. Your role becomes threatened. Your identity as a parent begins to ache. This is when you first felt the tremor. The earthquake came later, but the break, the heartbreaking, subtle, quiet break, began here, and you survived it long enough to recognize it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to Depth of the Quiet. You can listen quietly at 2 a.m. when your thoughts are overwhelming you, and you may come back anytime you need support. If you want to feel heard, you are welcome to leave a comment or tell me your story in the comments below. This could help other parents that are feeling like they are traveling this road all alone like so many of us do until we found channels like this one. We all need support on those hard days when the loss hits harder. Start a discussion or ask a question if you feel safe doing so. No pressure to interact. Just heal at your pace, and you are welcome to watch whenever you need to. You are always welcome here. Also, if you like this content, you may purchase the full book, Depth of the Quiet, by Latina Sidoroff, available in paperback and Kindle version from Amazon.com. And for all the spouses supporting the estranged parent, there is a great book written by the husband of Latina Sidoroff on the spouse's perspective called Standing Beside the Broken, also available from Amazon. The author is Stas Sidoroff. Thank you for watching this video.